So, Stubby Killer here to bring you guys a Plunder deck profile. Let's jump right into it. We play one copy of Griffin. Not much to say about that. It's Omni Negate, gets things done. Three copies of Whitebeard. Self-explanatory. It's an extender. Helps you when sent to the graveyard from hand or field. You can tag out, get another body. And has a quick effect to tag out, special summon a Plunder monster from the extra deck to the attribute. So it's not mad instituted too, so it does come up. And it also synergizes with the from discarding from hand the special summon a body in your opponent's turn. Three copies of Redbeard. I have not much to say about this. This is like the most least impactful one, in my personal opinion, because it doesn't really get a crazy effect, but it does help your Plunder monsters get their quick effect on your opponent's turn. That's the only thing good about it, and it has the quick effect to tag out. Two copies of Black Eyes. Not really much to say about this. This is an extender, really good for the late game. And if it's sent from your hand or field, you can special summon a Plunder from your graveyard. Just really good recursion, really good grinding, really good synergy. Three copies of Bluebeard, really good for an extender if you control a Plunder monster, special summon this card from the hand. If it's sent from the from the field, or hand to the graveyard, you can get a draw, so it helps you unclog that hand. You can discard like enchantresses and like other plungers to trigger their effect. Three copies of Golden Hair, she's really good for an extender. She literally makes a one card Toad, and she also makes a one card Blackbeard. Not really much to say about that. It's just a really good card. You can just keep reoccurring if you have Plunder monsters in your hand. Well, any card in your hand when she's in the graveyard. Three Enchantress, the Brave engine, the Plunder engine goes good like peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, I know that was corny, but the synergy is crazy. That's all I gotta say. It's cracked. Get her, discard Water Enchantress, gets rights. Not really much to say about that. Three copies of Ash Blossoms. Ash is still good for like anything. It's just a standard hand traps. I played three. Two Ogres. You don't have to play this, but I do like this against other Brave Engine or any deck. Really good against Flunder to hit the field spell. Two copies of Ghost Bell. No, you don't have to play Ghost Bells, but this is really good against Despia and any graveyard oriented deck. That's it for the hand traps. Two Reds if it makes here. I mean, you can play three. Two's been working fine because you play the three Enchanters. You play two Reds, one Faithful. You pretty much have multiple copies of this card anyway. Get a token, get the Faithful. Really, we've seen this engine. We know what it does by now. Not really much to say about that. The power one-ofs, one Duster, one Terraforming, one Call by, Faithful, Draco Pack. I mean, back row removal is kind of annoying. Another copy of the field spell. We kind of want to play through a hand traps. Searches your engine. This card is cracked. We know what Draco Back does. Spot removal. Two copies of triple tactical talents. This is a kind of a hand trap heavy format. You kind of need something that kind of push through more hand traps. So the two copies fine. It comes up clutch. You can look at your opponent's hand, gain the hand knowledge. You can draw two cards, get more consistency, get your deck going, or you can take a monster to link it off or whatever you want to do with it. It's pretty good. Three copies of the field spell. This card is cracked. The synergy with this in like the Brave package, you can discard a card, you can discard a Chantress, search a card, use a Chantress, then you can keep going from there. You can discard a Plunder monster, trigger their effects. And this also has a second effect, the Graveyard effect. This card's in your graveyard, and you have a Plunder monster in your or equip Plunder monster in your spell and trap zone. You can bounce the card and reset itself. So it's a reoccurring field spell. You have to banish it to stop it. This deck overall is not a bad deck. The synergy with Brave and Plunder is actually really good. We play the three copies of Imperm. Sometimes I do wish this Veiler. I've been thinking about running two Veilers and two Imperms because you get the draw power off of Blackbeard. But I mean, you can still set it, and this is really good going second. I have nothing much to say about Imperm. We all know what it does. One Plunder Patrol Booty. If you're playing a deck that isn't the attribute that your extra deck can go into, your monster can go into, you play this, call it type, use your resources from the graveyard. You can also shuffle it or special summon it. It's really good for late game, good when you use all your resources, actually good going first as well to set up something else, because usually by turn one, you at least have 3 to 4, 2 minimum and then 4 maximum Plunder monsters in your graveyard. So this kind of helps you use the materials you already used, and it can become an attribute. So, say for example, if you're playing against a wind deck, you can make Flunder as an example. I use Flunder. You can make it light, or you can make it dark. You can make that monster dark or light, so you can have something to disrupt them. Because if you're playing against decks and you can't go into your extra deck, it's kind of tough to win. This benefits on your opponent having the attributes to make your card goes off of. Also, you can use hand traps too. Like Ash is a common hand trap. Valor's a common hand trap. So you're and Dark is a common attribute. So you're always gonna end light. You're always gonna go against a dark or light deck. In Ash, I know there's multiple cards you probably go into. That's it for the main deck. Let's jump into the extra deck. 2 copies of the list. Not really much to say about that. Effect negation. And then you can target one of Plunder Patrol, Equip, Hunter, Spider Summon. One Dragite, no for back row. Not really much to say about that. 2 cups of broad, good spot removal, quick effect, search. They discard, and if advantage they search. On Bahama Shark, for the Toad, the boards. This is literally Blackbeard, Toad, and Griffin, which is a solid board. And then if you don't have any cards in hand, you can Toad, get the monster back. Because like I said, you always have 2 to 4 cards in your graveyard you can use, and then they trigger again when they're discarded. 2 copies of Mark. Good spot move for monsters, and it gets you advantage. 1 Toad, 1 Access Code, 1 Unicorn, 3 Blackbeards. This card is probably like the best card. You can tag out and draw a card, and it becomes a quick effect. 1 Almirage. For the side deck, he play 1 Fire Kaiju, one Kaiju for the. I just said it, the Flunder matchup, because the Barrier statue, I really can't even play it. 3 Lantias, self-explanatory, 2 draw, uh, triple Dark Rune no more, triple Toon Twister, back row is crazy, hits Flunder, and 2-dimensional barrier. That's it for the deck profile. If you have any comment questions, leave them down below. Uh, Pretty much why I do deck choices. This is a really fun deck. Give this deck a try. I've been enjoying this deck for the past couple weeks. I've been playing it. This is a really enjoyable deck, and the synergy between Plunder and Adventure goes good together. I do appreciate support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Killer out. You guys have a wonderful day.